boots hit the ground. Core force updates rolling out. Speed is up, the power's tight. Crank it up, it's time to fight. New tools, new rules, we're breaking through. Faster, stronger, built for you. Automation, domination. Take control, no hesitation. Core force, set it loose. No more limits, no excuse. A big upgrade, time to fly. Take your star to the sky. No remorse, set it loose. No more limits, no excuse. The big upgrade, time to fly. Take your star to the sky. Orders fly, no slow down here. Crush the game, make it clear. Sassy old boost, integration's tight. Core force is pushing into overdrive. Let me watch it now, see what's next. No second best, we break the test. E-commerce built to win, let's go. Turn it up again. No more limits, no excuse. Big upgrade, time to fly. Take your star to the sky. No remorse, set it loose. No more limits, no excuse. A big upgrade, time to fly. Take your star to the sky.
Well, that's freaking awesome.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Why is the coreFORCE song so much cooler than the coreStore one?
Because I'm so much cooler than you.
Well, that brings me to a really good point about an upcoming webinar we're going to have on AI. I used a better prompt for Colt's song than you. So, if you guys want to know how to use really good prompts to get really great music, images, whatever, stand by for that. I know that you guys are waiting for a link. I'm not sure why you're seeing that message. I saw the same message. I see that sometimes as well on certain links. I don't know what's going on with that, so we'll look at it. I can assure you we're not stealing any of your information here on StreamYard. We just want you to watch this awesome webinar presentation. So there you go. Hey, Josh, do you want to bring in whoever's talking in the background? Because that would be great if he could share with the class. No,
that's great.
Seriously, today we're going to be going over it's obviously the coreFORCE Update Live webinar. What we also want to do, in the last webinar, we Ezra kind of said that we're probably going to be doing these every other week. So it's not going to be actually it's going to be once a month. So we'll do once a month coreFORCE Update Live webinar. No.
We'll keep the same pace of the updates, the webinar updates live.
Okay.
But which that was the first thing I was going to talk about. So a good segue.
Awesome.
We're changing the coreFORCE updates to be coming every monthly. So like when we do a release, we were doing a bi-weekly release, and that's kind of what spurred this bi-weekly webinar. But we're going to be moving to monthly releases, so that we only do one big release. This is different than like a hot fix, which is an emergency fix that we declare needs to be pushed out immediately in order to save, loss of business or something like that. But our regular scheduled updates and stuff.
So coreFORCE Update Live may not be, hey, this is an update for coreFORCE. We're just updating you on coreFORCE. So it could be tips and tricks, things that you may not know, questions that you guys send in to us, like, hey, I would love if you guys covered this, this, and this in your next coreFORCE Live update. That would be great. And it will also be great on our part because we would love to hear from you and what you want us to cover. I don't like talking about things that I'm not sure you're interested in. It messes with my ego. So no, I'm just joking. I'm old enough to where I know my ego sucks. But today I think it's going to be kind of a short one. One thing I would like to cover real quick. We were doing the drawings for the Uber Eats. Was it Uber Eats? Yeah, it was Uber Eats, not Grubhub, because I was an idiot. Yeah. So we're gonna pick 2 winners today. We'll announce those winners in this one, so you'll be covered in the next one. I really got confused after our last webinar when Ezra said, "Yeah, we're only going to do these once a month," but he was talking about the updates are once a month, but we're still going to do the webinars, and we've lowered it because we didn't get any feedback from our 5 winners, and I think 1 or 2 of those people didn't even claim their gift card. So that's $100, man.
I'm
So
hungry. Send it over.
so from now on, we're just going to do 2 winners. We're going to announce them here, and we would love for you guys to send us an image. We actually have in our Discord server a coreFORCE where we share images of what we eat. So we would love for you guys to share that with us so that we know that we're reaching you and you're enjoying that gift card and you're enjoying the webinars that Colt and Oki put on here. So with that, I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to mute myself and we'll go from there.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, like Joel said, it's going to be a pretty quick one, but this is kind of evolving a little bit as we kind of go through and get feedback from you. Um, like we've even kicked the idea around of doing some sort of like almost podcast like to where we have, the 3 of us or whoever, and it's just kind of like a, chat with the experts to where it's like you can we talk about specific things that you may or may not know. We may have one specific type of thing that we want to go over per webinar. And that's, obviously like hot fixes, or if when we do have a release, we're going to go over what is in the release still, or what's coming up in the release, especially if there's any major changes that you need to be made aware of, that sort of thing. But especially within this past week, Oki and I have been talking about coreFORCE in itself is some of you know, I'm sure, but some of you may not be aware of how robust the actual system is. And it's very crazy to think of. There's been in working in coreFORCE from development standpoint for, Jesus, I want to say it's more than 8 years now. And there are still things in the system that I end up learning on a weekly basis, if not daily basis, or things that I've come across. So if you feel overwhelmed or something, trust me, it's just there's a lot to it. And we try and keep it simplified and try and make it more intuitive. We're always trying to make improvements where we can. But it was one of those things that Oki and I was talking about. It's like there's a lot of stuff in here that people may not just be aware of. And that's one of the things I kind of wanted to kind of mold these updates into, especially now that we're going back to, monthly releases. So we won't have as much to talk about. So I want to kind of stage this as, hey, this is what we can talk about today. We're going to have a main topic of, hey, did you know that, coreFORCE does memberships, or coreFORCE has this in it? Kind of like these hidden gems. Like there's search engine things that you can improve on with the advanced tiers, and why we do certain things the way we do, and that kind of thing. So but as far as this topic, I want to go over that real quick, because I know there's some specific things that I want to get out the way, and then we can kind of open it up a little bit and talk about what's coming. But as far as hot topic issues right now, I know there's an issue that's being pushed through QA. I'm hoping to get it really soon if it hasn't already. It's related to shipping charges issues. And that was an issue related to charges that were not calculating properly for the different locations. I'm hoping that will be done either today or tomorrow. I don't know. I need to follow up and get that update, but I know it's being worked on through QA, depending on if they, if they do the if QA finds anything wrong, obviously that will have to go back to the developers. So one thing that I want to clarify there is something that we're trying to get better at is making sure everything goes through QA. So we're setting up processes internally. And for those, QA, quality assurance, it's people that are putting eyes on stuff that have been, fixed, to make sure that those are, for one, that they're truly fixed. And 2, that they didn't break something else. Because anybody that's been in any kind of development world for any time, that, it's very likely that's very possible, especially with a system that's over 20 years old at this point, that you can fix one thing and break two more things that's seemingly unrelated. Um, so we're putting through in processes on our own side. We did have this already in place, but it wasn't as enforced because we are trying to do like some emergency things. So even stuff that we're trying to do for hot fixes are now trying to go, so it may take a little bit longer time. We're trying to make it as escalated and as quickly turn around in time as possible. So we're trying to make sure that as soon as something comes in, we're making sure that it is getting escalated and it is going into in front of the devs, and that we're getting a turnaround as fast as we possibly can. And especially, for the website in itself, because if something is, costing you, money on every single order or something like that, that's definitely, we're trying to get a turnaround. We don't want QA to slow things down, but we also don't want to make things worse. So we're trying to sharpen that up and hone that in. Um, Along the same kind of things, but it's a different area with the shipping address, is I know there's a thing that everybody's been getting a headache from with the shipping address when you're looking at the order details. I know that's been confusing people because it recently changed. Um, it was to show like the FFL address versus the consumer address. I know some people were used to it and seeing that. We are working on getting that back adjusted the way it was, um, just because it's become more of a headache than anything. So we want to try and get that back to where it was, to where you can see the customer. Because I know some people were using it just kind of get at a glance of, okay, well, their billing address is this, but their shipping address is this. That doesn't match. So I need to look at this one more. So we're trying to make sure that that's easily goes back to easily looked at for everyone. Um, so that's the main two things I know that aren't finished yet, but are being worked on actively. Those are things that are kind of, course, the top of the list. Um, as far as updates coming up, yes, I just saw Dean's message. Yeah, to keep people thinking they're sending to a pew pew to their house. Yeah, because that was the other confusing part, because it updated on the order details, but it didn't update on the shipment, the packing slip and everything like that. So yeah, I'm hoping have that fixed really soon. Um, um, I think that's it as far as like big ticket items that I know are giving people headaches on coreFORCE. Um, uh, Again, we're going to monthly releases, so they might be some stuff that are asking for that might roll out slower because of the monthly releases. Just please be patient with us, because we're trying to make sure that we're not introducing more bugs, and that's one of the things that we kind of got into. It sounded great at the time to try and do a release every other week, because we tested during the off week and then release it, and like, but as we started escalating and growing quickly, we learned that, okay, we're really shooting ourselves in the foot, because if we introduce a bug in one of the releases, now we've got to focus on fixing that bug. Well, we also have new fixes we need in place for the previous stuff. So that's why we're trying to take a breath. So it might be slower rolling out maybe new features or stuff like that. Definitely slowing rolling out new features. Or maybe if it's a bug fix that's been plaguing you, we're you got to think from our perspective, we're trying to go from the top down of, hey, this is business down, this is causing people to lose money, and we're working our way down from there to, hey, can you add this column to this report, stuff like that. Because we want to make sure that, hopefully, as we improve and constantly get this stuff in place, that we'll be changing from not needing as many hot fixes anymore, because QA is taking care of it, and we know that we're releasing stuff with confidence more and more. And that way we can kind of catch up and start getting to the other stuff that are maybe giving you a headache every now and then or something like that. So yeah, so just a little tidbit behind that. But yeah, outside of that, like I said, I kind of want to turn this into just spitballing back and forth and talking about things. I know we talked last time about the Discord community. I don't have an ETA on that. That one's kind of on me. As soon as I can sit down and kind of plan it out, because we want to make sure that we do have some, non-coreware moderators in there. So I'm going to be reaching out to some of our customers, um, to see if they can help with that. Um, and then it is a setup process to get that whole server set up, and because we also want to make sure that people are agreeing to terms of service, um, that kind of thing. So, um, but yeah, other than
So,
that,
are there any questions? I think Dean said, I think that address thing is confusing. Customers also had a couple of questions on that recently. Dean, were those questions answered satisfactorily? Because if they weren't, I'm not far from Colt. I'm just a short drive over there, man. That's all I need to just give me the word.
yeah, I think that's the same thing Kenneth was talking about, because they were
Okay.
seeing on the shipping receipt, it looked like they were going to their house. So
Gotcha. Hey, so real quick, while we're waiting for some questions to roll in, I've got 2 winners to announce. Awesome, Dean. Lynn K came in with something. Read that while I'm making this short announcement. So we just drew 2 winners. They are let's see, Myron Fleming and Bruce Mansfield. So you guys are set up for the next coreFORCE update live. $100 Uber Eats gift cards. So be on the lookout for them. They'll be in the email that we have for you on file. And please use them. Also, take an image of you guys enjoying that beautiful meal on Coreware while you're watching these so very entertaining webinars that Colt and Oki always do such a great job on.
oh shucks. So Lynn asked a question. I've been a customer for over a year. Recently found out from a friend that Core sends out birthday emails. Suspect there are many opportunities I'm missing out on. Where can I find out about these types of things and instructions on how to implement them? So that's a great question. So I believe what you're looking at is for the Corilla side. Would that be correct, Oki? For sending out birthday emails. So
Yes,
yeah, so
sir.
that would be under our Corilla platform, which is kind of more of the marketing based, where you can send out birthday reminder emails and promotions, kind of stuff like that. Did you have something specific you want to talk about, Oki, on that?
I'm gonna just I'll drop the link for our Corilla setup documentation in here for you guys, and go from there. I'm sorry, it's so loud here.
No, that's fine.
Sure.
And hey, there's a lot of things that you can do with Corilla. I mean, just to kind of slide this in there, right now, I mean, you could. It's kind of smart, you want your customers to receive a birthday email. You want your customers to receive maybe an email. Hey, it's been a month since you bought that AR. You want to bring it in for a cleaning, or if they bought a hunting rifle. Hey, we're a month away from deer season. It's probably time to get that thing sighted in. It's just really smart to use these tools to communicate with your customers, because obviously, if you're not talking to me, I'm not going to give you any money. But if you talk to me regularly and tell me things that I want to hear, man, you got a friend or a customer for life. So if you guys would like to know more about that, I would love, hey, you know what, Colt, you're my witness in our next meeting. I'm just going to put Wits on the spot. We need to start doing some Corilla webinars.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
yeah,
I mean, his baby's old enough now, right? He could spare some time.
it's like 4 weeks. Plenty old enough. Should be working by now, right?
It's to get a job. No, and to Lynn, to follow up on your question there, which I'm glad you asked. So something else that Oki and I have been discussing, it was kind of Oki's idea, so I'm going to let him take credit for it. But something that we're doing internally, which will turn around and improve, your knowledge as well, and have a resource for you, is we're setting up. Am I good to talk about it, Oki? Or I mean, we've got approval on it, right? Okay. So we're setting up internally a coreFORCE boot camp. And this isn't for customers, it's for our employees, because we want to make sure that we have some newer support people. And we do have stuff that we kind of onboard them with and everything. But we're going to basically set up a boot camp over in Oki's neck of the woods. So we're going to be flying in myself and some, the lead devs to kind of come in and like do a crash course for our support people, for a fresher to see, where our holes at are in our knowledge base articles and our core U and kind of stuff like that. We're going to be building those out as we go through it. Because like I said, there's a lot of stuff in, coreFORCE that a lot of people aren't leveraging, just because they don't know. And, you don't know what you don't know, right? So we're going to be trying and when we come across something that's like, hey, we really think customers should be able to be using this, then that's something that we can turn around and bring into the webinar. It's like, hey, did you know that you can do this with coreFORCE? Some things might be super simple that people didn't know. I was talking to an enterprise client the other day, or it's a couple of weeks back, and I told them, because they were talking about they wanted to pull up a user and a contact, and they had to jump to a different tab and this and that. I was like, well, did you know that you can just click the username and it'll jump straight to the contact, or jump straight to the user from the contact record, and vice versa? There's small stuff like that. We try to make intuitive, but it's not always that way. This, again, the systems, was built starting 20 years ago. So there are some older stuff that people are, shortcuts and stuff like that. One of the biggest shortcuts I use in the system is for the advanced level is there's a shift shortcut where you can just hit shift key twice and start typing in a page. So you can start typing in contacts, and then it jumps you to the contacts page. So you don't have to go through the sidebar and everything like that. And that's something we're, kind of trying to look at and see if we can bring that over into the basic and standard levels as well. But different things like that, we're going to be going over, with our support, but at the same time, building these articles out and, maybe making some videos and stuff like that to kind of help show that. And then if we find something that's like, hey, more people need to know about this, more people need to be looking at this, then we can make sure to make notes to bring it to our next webinar call. So it's kind of going to drive a lot of different things. All right, I think I saw a couple of questions come in. Tony, I think, was the first one I saw. Having issues with images updating between CoreStore and coreFORCE, trying to delete an existing image and replace. You know something about that one, Oki?
I threw a comment in. There is a setting inside of coreStore that will replace images when saving from coreStore to coreFORCE. I just wanted to know if that setting was turned on and go from there.
Sorry, I'm just laughing at Myron's comment about the cold. Yeah, it's actually chillier today. It's 59 here today in Louisiana.
It is chilly.
Okay. And then Bruce had a question. Let's say a customer orders a single item and it's only available with only one distributor, but the next day it's available at my favorite distributor. How do I sign that order after the fact? So Bruce, that would probably be more so of a thing where you're contacting your distributor directly to cancel that existing order and place it with the new one. Because even like deleting the shipment that you've created for that order to the distributor doesn't tell the distributor, hey, I'm canceling this. So that would be something you'd reach out to your salesperson and say, hey, I need to cancel this, for whatever reason. And then once they confirm, okay, we've got that deleted, then you can go back in and create a new shipment with your favorite distributor. So you just want to always clarify with your whoever you place the order with that it's not already out the door and coming to you. You want to try and cancel it beforehand before you create a new shipment, because otherwise, then you're going to get two in. Get out and wash your car. Yeah, it's actually, we've had some beautiful weather the past few days. This is the colder it's been. It's been in like the mid 70s here for the last few days. Bright sunshine.
It was weird
It's been
today.
beautiful. So
Yeah,
I'm rubbing it in because I know some people are still dealing with snow and stuff.
Yeah. Hey, so I'd like to do something while we're taking questions and whatnot. All you out there, we've got tons of people, like 3,000 people here. No, I'm just joking. But all of you out there, let me know in the comments here. What is one of your favorite features or functions of coreFORCE? I'd love to know what you guys think. How are you using it? Are you doing things creatively that maybe we're not even thinking of, that some of our other viewers here can pick up on and run with as well? So that would be really cool just to see how you guys are using it. Again, like I've said many times when we're doing either CoreStore or coreFORCE, you look at your phone, every time your phone's updated, they add thousands and thousands of little tweaks that you never really know about. And somebody will show it to you and you feel like, how in the world is that? Like recently I showed my I showed my mom how to she was shocked. But this is how it is. In the Apple ecosystem, you can copy something on your phone and then hit control paste on your computer or your iPad or whatever else, and it just throws whatever you copied on your phone and vice versa. So it's that kind of thing that really makes that ecosystem fun to work in. So I would like to know with coreFORCE, are there things that you're doing with it that maybe we're not thinking of, like really thinking out of the box with it?
Yeah, either that or maybe you're doing something in coreFORCE that like you feel is like could be optimized. Like you're like it's taking you like 10 minutes to go through this specific process. Not because of speed or whatever, but it's like you have to do a few different things in order to do it because that's something specific. Like if we see that, hey, it takes somebody 5 minutes to 10 minutes just to, go through and check out something or something like that. One, we can either improve on it, or two, maybe there is a shortcut that you can do um, that would help out. Maybe you're adding new events or something like that. Um, any kind of feedback like that can definitely help out because, again, like I said, coreFORCE has been around for a long time. Some of our customers here, I'm sure, have been around with us for a number of years. Maybe you were set up initially. I've run into that some even recently where we have some customers that have been with us for a few years. Well, we release new stuff, and again, it's on us because we weren't transparent, but that's what we're trying to get better at. That's why we have all this stuff. But
Right.
a new feature came out, they had no idea because we never gave it to them. Like we did it. It was a new feature. One thing that just came to mind that probably a lot of people don't realize is there is a feature in coreFORCE to where you can include people's wish list items in the checkout page. So like when they're checking out on the cart,
Yeah.
um, if somebody has something in their wish list that's in stock, it can show up in the bottom as like a markup or not a markup, but an upsell essentially.
I
Um,
call them impulse buys.
yeah, it's
Like, heck
Amazon
yeah, I
is
want it.
the king of impulse buys.
Yeah.
I'll go on the Amazon shop for one thing and turn around with $150 within my cart. Um,
Yep.
but yeah, but just that's again that's one of those hidden things that you probably don't even realize because you're not seeing it as much from the retail side, but it's
Right.
there. I don't think that takes up any setup or anything either. So but it's little stuff like that is like if you do have something that's taking you an unusual amount of time and you feel like maybe it could be optimized, just reach out and ask. Again, that's kind of what the thought is like with the community. Like we're gonna try and get as much information to you as we possibly can, and we're trying to be better about it.
Right.
But there may be some stuff that slips our mind.
Right.
That's why I'm really excited about Oki's idea for the boot camp. I was like, heck yes, because there's some things that I know that probably nobody else in the company knows, or maybe one or two
Yeah.
other people. So we're going to be trying to, what's the word for it? Like spread the knowledge, and that kind of stuff.
I like
Um,
I don't mean to step on your toe, but the chat's moving up and I don't want to miss this. But
yeah,
Colleen
yeah,
has a really great point in that you can see who has the product at what price. So you have somebody standing at your counter, they want that, that latest Springfield or Taurus or whatever. You obviously want to make the most on it. That may be a one-off sale. Why not go in there and see who has it at the best price, and how fast, those distributors usually ship. You already know all that stuff. So that's another powerful way to use coreFORCE. Don't just let stuff fly, because the more attention you pay to this stuff, the more efficient it's going to be. Obviously, this stuff works, right? It'll just go along, but like with anything else in life, the more you really focus on it and learn it, the more success you're going to find. So thank you, Colleen. I really like that.
And Kenneth, as far as a test site, we do have, 'cause, I want to say you're advanced because you have the shift for sure. But yeah, there is ways that you can set up your own kind of, test playground, of whole templates and pages that you can just play around with stuff on that you can make, what we call internal use only in coreFORCE, that only admins can see, and you keep it off of your sitemap so people can't do it. That's another good example of something that's not that knowledgeable. Not many people know that you can do it or set it up that way. Um, but maybe that's something we make a note of, because that would be kind of good for us to actually do like a show and tell on for the webinar. So I'm going to make a note of that one.
Yeah, please do, because it would be a really good video we can make as well.
Mhm.
Because that wouldn't take long. It's just real quick, down and dirty. Also, I don't know if you guys realize, but I made, Corey. Corey's a lot smarter now. And I would love for you guys to try it out. I know it covers CoreStore and coreFORCE and CoreClear and Gorilla. Pretty much everything that Oki has spent so much time on in regards to building, our support help desk out, all the articles. I think we've got 750,000 words. Oki, you probably didn't even know you wrote that much. That's 750,000 words that Corey has in his data, in his brain housing group. That's what we call it, Marine Corps. Has in his brain housing group, and he has access to all of the help desk articles. And now I think this week I was finally able to give it access to all of those videos as well. And we're going to continue to add videos. So as you search, hey, can somebody put that link out there for Corey? And just share it there in the chat.
Yeah, I can grab that and throw it down there. I also put it inside everyone's core store under the product updates. There's a link there. I'll grab that real quick for you guys.
Perfect. And then if you guys do that when you're searching, Corey's smart enough to know, he's smart enough, because I'm like not a great wordsmith. So as I'm typing, I'm missing letters and my grammar's horrible because I'm just trying to get a question out, right? And Corey's smart enough to know, hey, I think this is what you're wanting. It will give you, if it knows and it has access to those help desk articles, it will give you step-by-step instructions to whatever it is that you're wanting. You'll also notice numbers that have circles around them. If you hover over them, they'll tell you where they're going to take you, whether it be an article or a YouTube video. You click on it and you can dive into the actual article or source that Corey used to give you that answer. So it's not BSing you. It's not hallucinating. It shouldn't be. If it is, we're going to have a Corey 3.0 in another week, because I will straight up murder that robot. And, but really, we want you to give that a try. I'm really impressed with it. If I were standing at a counter and there's a customer in front of me, and I just needed to know how to do something really quick, that is the quickest way to find out if there's a help desk article on it that you can just go into and get the issue taken care of. Because a lot of times you may put a ticket in for something that may take you 30 seconds to fix, and it may turn into an hour, right? Because you're trying to get somebody's getting back to you. They're looking into it. You're looking to it. The answer may be there. So we're trying to empower you with all the knowledge you need to run your business with our solutions. Sorry, I know I went on a rant.
No, that was great. Sorry, I just saw something that Dave mentioned about the return to list at the bottom of the order processing screen. Yeah, I really like that idea, and I think I already have an idea for maybe a simple fix for that. Um, so I wrote that down in my notes. Phil asked, any fix with bound books and inventory showing different prices? Bound books and inventory. Do you know anything on that one, Oki?
I'm not aware of that one. Did you put I only see Phil's question for bound books. It just says bound books. So
No, just scroll up a little bit. He had a question. He was correcting himself because he said Boondocks, which I was really confused because my mind goes to Boondock Saints. That's my millennial mindset, because when Joel said something about your favorite things, I was thinking of oh, what is it? This was it, The Sound of Music? These are a few of my favorite things.
Now you've got me, the Boondock Saints, thinking about the cat scene.
Beautiful.
Not really. That
Not
shocked me the
really.
first time I saw it. I was like,
Oh.
"Oh man!"
Yeah, we'll get information back from Phil on that. And then Bruce asked, does the notify me feature work? Where does the notification come from? I'm assuming, Bruce, you're talking about coreFORCE and like the notify when out of stock. Because that runs on a process that checks inventory, um, so that whenever the inventory does come back in stock, it checks to see if there are any notifications, any people that have notifications. I believe we did have an issue maybe with that, or maybe I'm thinking of abandoned cart. I know we had something with an email having issues recently that's been resolved for the last few weeks that I'm aware of. But yeah, that should be working. So when somebody, for those that don't understand, when somebody goes to add something to the cart and it's out of stock or something like that, you can automatically add it to your wish list so you can be notified. It should default to notify people when it's in stock. So that way, anytime something, that item comes in stock, they'll get an email notification on it. Dave, for your, if you want, this is again one of those simple things that isn't really well known. For the next button for the on the bottom of the order processing screen, should need to go back to the list and scroll down to the next order to process. I'm gonna make Dave flip a table because he's not gonna realize that this was been there the whole time. If you have a keyboard and you have a page up and page down button, that'll go to the next order when you're looking at details. I would love to say that I've known that all along, but I've only recently learned that probably within the past year that that was available. And when the dev showed me that, I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Um, so yeah, so page up and page down. I think I want to say there might be another shortcut if you don't have page up and page down on your keyboard. I think it's like a control up or control down or something like that if you're on Windows, command if you're on Mac. Um, but yeah, let's see. Yes, it's something along those lines. Uh, but yeah, page up and page down should go to the next order in the list automatically. So that way you don't have to keep going back and forth. I say that. Now it doesn't work if you like search for one order and are trying to go up and down. Yeah, page up and page down works. I think. Yeah. Yeah, it's just page up and page down. I don't think might not be another shortcut, or at least not one that I'm aware of. How do I add the wish list impulse buy option? Kenneth, I think that's already in there. I'll need to double check because I think it's set up by default, but you would have to have something in your wish list that's in stock essentially, because I don't think it shows up out of stock stuff because then it's kind of pointless, right? Um, so I think it has to be in your wish list and has to be in stock for it to show up in the cart. Now on your site might be I know there's a couple of different versions of the shopping cart as well. So which is another thing that not everybody realizes. That we do have a few different variant options for the checkout process. I think most people are on the what we refer to as the simplified checkout process. But there are some, again, of our older customers that are on what we call checkout V2. The checkout version is kind of not used by very, very many people, and it's used for a specific reason. Um, but there are some pros and cons to simplified checkout versus the regular checkout. Like you can't do the simplified is literally meant to be simplified. So like there's no multiple payment options and stuff like that. Like they can only use like one type of payment. But yeah, I'll try and get some information back on that. Maybe we can save that for an update for the next webinar of how to do
Sorry
the
about
wish
that.
list.
That was my fault. Throwing that thing up
Yeah.
there.
I love there's so many good questions. Any idea when Gunspot will get payment processor integration fixed? I'm not familiar with that one. Oki, you know anything about that one? Gunspot?
I do not
Um,
know anything about Gunspot right now either. No. Is it? Let me see.
That was Bill Collins. Okay.
No.
Bill, we'll try and follow up and get some answers over to you on that one. Relic Arms is asking about the printful invocation. Did you already answer him there?
Yeah, I put that in there. I know Van Gogh is working on that one. Currently, I saw him working on it earlier.
Is there a way? Yeah, I guess some of y'all are already answering these. I'm behind. Let's see. Update purchase order. Joel's already answered that one. Update purchase order. Update import to our updated price in it. Okay, did you see Phil's comment about his update for the bound book and inventory price discrepancy? Okay. All
Looking
right.
at that one too. I thought it had to do with the bound book or the label codes that were on the label, but I'm not sure there. So I'm double checking on that for him.
I would like the option to show highest price distributor. So if something sells and any distributor has for cheaper, I make even more money. Guns.com, choosing the FFL. Choosing FO who wants the lowest amount so they can make the most money. Merry Christmas, Dave. Let's see. Sorry, I'm going over Kenneth's option. I'll just say we did something. Is Kenneth basically you're asking to like for the cost calculation for the markup, you want to calculate it based off the highest price distributor rather than the lowest price distributor. Am I correct? Pretty sure that's what he's getting at. I think that's been brought up before. Yeah, Bill, we'll see. Because I'm not familiar with anything on there. We'll see what's going on there. Any other questions?
Anyone? Bueller.
Yeah, that's where my went
Bueller.
to. You beat me to it.
Bueller.
And on these ones too, here, Tony and Dean, I'm going to check why you guys don't have that setting. Phil, I'm going to look at your look at the barcodes here, and then Relic, I am looking at the printful integration because as far as I can tell, the problem was the items weren't showing up on site. So I'll go ahead. I'm just making a note here, and I will reach out to each one of you guys here when I get some answers for you. Okay.
Now, Oki?
Yeah, we need answers now. Okay.
No.
No, I was about to
That's
take
why you're the
you off
VP of
stage.
customer success.
Yes, if
And
you can.
I didn't want everybody to
Yeah, let's
think,
do
man,
it.
that guy's rude. Hey, seriously, Okie, what I need you to do is, yeah, just joking, Okie. Just let me know when you're ready to come back.
Okay, let's see. Jennifer. Log ticket on this earlier and we'll ask here. You provide tips on cleaning up inventory. So inventory is something I'm assuming so this is one of those terminology things that I get mixed up on because people different use it for different terms.
Right.
When I think of inventory, I think of like quantity on hand. I know when some people say inventory, they mean like what the actual SKUs are and cleaning up like data. So let's see, she says I showed 20,000 guns, but only 6,700 in stock. That's a big difference. So I'm assuming you're talking about quantity. Now, Jennifer, I mean, I don't know you. I'd have to look at your specific scenario, but I mean, there could be a lot of items in stock or out of stock. Um, I don't know. I wouldn't even know what a ballpark would look like. Um, but if you think there might be an issue, that's something we can definitely take a look at and investigate to see if there is something. Because I'm of the mindset I don't like to speak in absolutes and never say that there isn't an issue. Because I also don't like being proved wrong.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's the millennial set mindset of not speaking in absolutes of Star Wars messed me up on that one. But yeah, it's we can definitely get that checked out. Um, so just so that you're aware, so I see you talking about the old and could affect performance. It's not necessarily the case. I mean, we have people that have 200,000 plus products in the system because of how many distributors they have linked and everything like that. Um, so it's for the promotion. Sorry, picked up the problem. I had the same issue. Went to inventory and filtered by most in stock and picked out the problem quickly. So I know we recently had issues with essentially what we call orphan products, and those are products that were removed from a distributor feed completely, and but they got left with an inventory on them for whatever reason. Like the distributor still had 6 in stock, and then they just instead of like zeroing out and then updating it to say to be removed, all we get back is okay, that product's no longer in the feed period anymore. We do have a process like for that, to where if we see that it's no longer in the feed for that distributor and it has a quantity, we set it to 0 automatically, but we don't like remove that product or delete that product or anything like that, because we don't know when they're going to get some back in, or another distributor may have that same product as well. So but for that specific instance, um that has been fixed as far as I've been made aware. As far as orphan products, it's been some time now. um but if you're still seeing products where they show inventory, I think that you're kind of talking about the opposite then. So you're saying there's more that aren't showing inventory than there should be. Products get removed, they get discontinued, they show up. Like Colleen said, yeah, you can look at see by filtered most in stock. Um, not sure of a good change for that to just say, yeah, because and another reason why we don't like ever, coreFORCE doesn't ever like delete anything as far as products go, just because you might need that information later down the road. You might need that information for, bound book records and historical data and stuff like that. So we mark stuff as inactive, um, but there's no automated process that says, okay, no distributors carry this product anymore, because we don't know. Because it's also one of those things like, okay, yeah, distributor said this item is now discontinued, so they're not going to bring it back. Coming from Sports South, I know that we definitely had cases to where something went discontinued, and then suddenly they found some in the warehouse somewhere or something like that, and so they had to bring them back to sell out the rest of the inventory. So that's one of the reasons why we don't really clear that kind of stuff out. I don't know if I have a good option. I think there might be a report, but it may be only available for advanced tier to look at essentially stale inventory. Yep. Kenneth's Kenneth's backing me up on that. So I know Kenneth knows what he's talking about too. So all right. So Colleen asked about regarding increasing SEO. I don't think we did cover that in the last meeting, but that's definitely something I want to highlight in one of our webinars. Um, our next webinar will probably be about an update because I'm thinking we'll probably do an actual update around that time. But I do want to hone in on a specific one for SEO, just mainly because I want to kind of explain in detail a little bit more of, hey, this is what coreFORCE can do as far as regards, and this is what it already does in regards to SEO. Because we do a lot already, automatically, like mapping pages and links and stuff like that. But there is some stuff that you have to put in the work for like meta titles, meta descriptions. We provide the tools, but we don't do it for you. Because that's one of the things about SEO is they reward unique information. So if you're not working those meta fields and descriptions, especially for your hot moving items, at least, then that's kind of on the onus becomes on you for making that unique. We provide the tools. We're not SEO experts. That's one of those things that's like beyond my head. I
Yeah.
try to know as much as I can, but
It's
it's
witchcraft.
yeah, it's
Hey,
it's definitely
I'll be
witchcraft.
honest with you. I'll be honest with you. And you call me a conspiracy theorist, whatever. But with the advent of AI, that stuff is going to start radically changing. So, but what Colt said is true. And again, with the power of AI, if you have, I don't know, uh, 10, 15,000 retailers across the nation are selling a Glock 45. They're literally all using the same product description, probably fed from the distributor that they purchased it. You can go in to AI. You could create a custom bot to where you're like, hey, you are a Glock expert. I want you to talk in, whatever famous gun tuber that you're thinking of, or even like a movie. Like, hey, I want you to really rewrite this description in a Star Wars universe, right? So this is the gun that Han Solo shot first, right? And
Yeah,
you can do this stuff immediately. Like you could put in like the product name, and once you've got the little bot built, which takes like 5 minutes, it's spitting out a unique product description. And Google, as they're looking, they'll see 10,000 Glock 45s for sale and be like, hey, these three over here have different, really, really unique product descriptions. So we're going to put these at the top. And before you know it, right now, that's the way it works. Before you know it, you'll have people buying like 4 states away. They're not buying that, obviously. You're not going to ship them a gun, but they'll be, setting stuff up like that. So it's just little things like that that you can do on your own. Again, what we were talking about earlier, the more time you spend in this, the more success you're going to have. Right. And if you've got a kid that already knows AI, you could put them on it, pay them, like 45 cents an hour. Shows you how old I am. And before you know it, you've got a really unique website, and nothing. The only thing that was changed was product description. So, Colt, when you do that, I would like to come on and I can literally take 10 minutes or 15 minutes and show them how to do that. And then I'll maybe as you're demonstrating, you can say, hey, we're going to do this product. I can take it over here, have it rewrite it. You could go back and just paste it in there and show people how easy it is just to, make their website more unique.
yeah, for sure. Colleen asks, do you have instructions how to do meta tags, etc.? I think we might have some some basics in our core university. I don't know if Oki's still around or not.
Hey, can you
Post that link.
whoever asked that, can you guys go ask Corey? Scroll back up to
Oh, that's a good
that
question.
link, and I guarantee you, if it's covered, Corey's going to show you where it is. Oki, can you come back? Okay.
He deuced out. He's gone.
Wave at me if you can. Oh, he can. There you are.
Hey, there
Hey.
he is.
Hey, Oki, can you go ask that question that was asked? Just go ask Corey and see if it pulls up. If it does, I'd like to show people that Corey's pretty doggone smart. Instructions on how to do meta tags. I would do it, but I don't have the link, and we can't click on links from our side for some reason.
Yeah, you want I'll share my
Share
screen.
your screen, yeah, and just show people how that works, because it's, again, I'm the geek, AI geek. I'm telling you, this is a powerful tool. This stuff can be answered really quickly. Are you ready? Here you go.
All right, so I just asked instructions on how to do meta tags. So it shows us the basics of HTML and then the meta information here. So this isn't just looking at our info. This is looking at
That's explaining what meta tags are.
Yep, correct. And you want to know how to go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying that's the basis of how meta tags work and everything like that. So that's just giving a basic rundown. It's not giving what's actually.
And
so then,
here is
yeah,
a
let
link.
him finish, Colt.
Yeah.
Yep. So here's a link to managing products, which we're going to talk about the.
You got to share that screen.
Oh, sorry, guys.
There you go. So it takes you right to that, right? Shows
Yeah,
you how
right
to do that.
this page, and then you're gonna come down here, and there's gonna be a meta title, so you will have the information on how to populate that on the manufacturer. Or if we go back and share this tab here, you have the adding a web page with coreFORCE HTML. So
That's beautiful, Joel.
Looks good. It's working as intended, but I know it's going to get better.
Yeah, it's going to get smarter. And the more you guys out there use it, Corey's able to come to me and say, hey, Joel, these guys are asking some really good questions that I don't have answers to. So I would really like if you could get Oki to write some more articles. And then I'm going to start throwing stuff at Oki to do, and Colt. So please use Corey.
Even on top of that too, just to show you guys here, I know you guys are using the feedback program. I did make a training material request form too. So if there's something you run into or documentation we don't have, go ahead and throw it in here, and we'll one of the technical writers or myself, we'll get together, make a course on it, and get that material whipped up for you guys.
Nice.
Get Kenneth up there on the most helpful. No, absolutely. Yeah, that was beautiful. Because I love that, because it gave two aspects of the meta tags, the titles and descriptions. It gave one for the manufacturer, but it also gave it for your different pages and stuff like that. So, which the intelligence behind that is beautiful.
It is intelligent. It really,
because I forgot that it's also on the product manufacturer level too, that you have those. So that's awesome.
Corey doesn't forget. By the way, Corey never forgets. I'm joking.
Is that what you keep telling it so it don't forget? You train it to not forget?
No, I'm just trying to be on its side for when they turn on us.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Man, we said this was going to be a short one, and here we are at the hour mark. This is awesome.
You know what? When you have good customers that engage and talk, and it's really, we are blessed. All joking aside, and we do appreciate you guys just hanging on with us and asking questions and engaging with us, and because that's like any relationship, friendship, whatever. It's all about communication, and you guys have done an awesome job today. You've really outshone Colt and Josh. So I might be reaching out to some of you guys to do these webinars in the future. And but in all seriousness, I really am thankful that you guys come and you ask questions and you give suggestions and you complain or you praise or whatever. We just love hearing from you guys. So thank you so much. Do you have anything else, Colt, that you like 5 minutes from now, you'll look back and say, why didn't I mention that?
Man, not off the top of my head. But so that's
What
yeah,
about
that's
what about
it's
you, Okie?
I was getting into the music. No, I got some homework here for Tony, Dean, Phil, Relic, and Bill Collins. But yeah, other than that, I'm good right now.
What music were you getting into?
The one you just started playing and then
I didn't
stopped.
start playing anything. Corey, it's not
Corey's
time yet.
man. Yeah, calm down, Corey. It's land the plane. Land the plane.
No, seriously. No, this has been great. Hey, are you guys okay? Okie, you got anything else?
Hey, Bill Dance, to talk about that, he said the PVC patch. We got one right here at the tip of my pen. That's the one we had at SHOT Show. We will have another one. So be looking forward to that.
All right.
I think that's everything I got.
All right. And I would like to give you a little primer of what's coming up. We've got a webinar. Haven't even put it on a calendar yet, but it's going to be April 10th. We've got Andy Graham from Graham Industry Advisors, was with the ATF forever, and he's going to be covering what you do before you're inspected. So preparing for the inspection, before the inspection. So I think that's going to be an eye-opening one. We talked to another one of our integrations today about taxes, Avalara. So we're going to be doing an Avalara webinar in April as well, because that's when everybody's thinking about taxes. So hopefully we can do that the first week. I'm not sure yet. I'll know more probably next week, but stand by for that. It's a great company to work with. Obviously, we've got next week's Core Store Update Live. Okie, you got anything? Are you excited about it? Do you want to give people the primer? Or what?
So I'm hoping to show some beta info for guns.com next week. That's probably going to be what I'm going to focus on. Kind of show you the gun.com integration in Core Store and talk about that. And we will have an update for Core Store next Monday night. So there will be some changes coming out. So I'm hoping to cover those and then give you guys a little preview to the guns.com integration.
Awesome. And then a week after that, Colt will be back with us for another coreFORCE Update Live. Again, those winners today, I think Myron and Bruce Mansfield. Myron Fleming and Bruce Mansfield. You guys, we're probably gonna email you those gift cards the day before or a couple of days before the webinar, so that it doesn't get lost in your email. And again, we would love for you to take some images of that beautiful food and send them to us so we can celebrate with you. Other than that, I don't have anything else. Anybody else have anything else?
I'm good.
All right, guys.
Till next
thank you
time.
so much. We'll see you next
Yeah,
week.
have a good one.
That's a wrap. We're closing down. Another update's hit the ground. Your store's stronger, faster, tight. coreFORCE keeps you set to fight. More tools, more speed, more power. Yeah, that's what you need. Hold on tight, don't blink, don't stray. Another update's on its way. We'll be
I forgot one more thing. Thank you. We are going to have a Retail Mastery webinar next week with Greg Turner, the CEO of PFG. That is going to be awesome. He has got a wealth of knowledge in retail, in firearms retail, all kinds of big box retail, whatever. So be on the lookout for that invite. We can't wait to see you.
We'll be back. Just wait and see. Now more upgrades, more victory. 2 weeks out, don't miss a sign. coreFORCE updates, next in line. We'll be back, just wait and see. No more upgrades, more victory. 2 weeks out. Till next time, full speed, no past.